Example number 5. Watch for common factors before decomposition. Factor 6x cubed y minus 7x squared y squared minus 3xy cubed. So, gave you a nice little hint. Watch for common factors, okay? With any of these factoring questions, and I'll probably bring this up in class at some point, but with any of these factoring questions, your first step always should be to look for a greatest common factor. You need to factor out that greatest common factor before any of this stuff will work. Okay? So I look at this. Is there a greatest common factor between 6x cubed y minus 7x squared y squared minus 3xy cubed? I think, well, yes, they all are going to divide by x, and they're all also going to divide by y. So I could factor out an x and a y from each of these terms. If I do, I would be left with 6x squared minus 7xy minus 3y squared. So this, I've already factored out xy. Don't forget this in your final answer. This is a factor. You have to write it in as part of your final answer. Now though, I can take this part of the term, what I'm left with here, and I can try and factor it like I have been before. I look for two numbers that when I multiply them together, I'm going to slide over here, multiply them together, I'm going to get negative 18, which would be 6 times negative 3, which is a times c. But those same two numbers add together to give me b, which is negative 7. Okay? Two numbers that multiply together to give 6 times negative 3, negative 18, add together to give negative 7. So I look at what my factors of 18 are. My factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. There's no way if I add or subtract 1 and 18 I can get to negative 7, so I know it's not going to be this one. And there's no way I can add or subtract 3 and 6 to get to negative 7, so it's not going to be this one. Okay, so it's got to be 2 and 9. Well, my answer has to be negative, so one of these has to be negative, but my bigger value has to be the negative one because I end up with a negative 7 when I add them together. So it's going to be a negative 9 and a positive 2. So negative 9, positive 2. Negative 9, positive 2. Quick check, negative 9 does multiply to give me negative 18. Negative 9 plus 2 does give me negative 7. Step 1, find your numbers. Well, no, step 1, greatest common factor. Step 2, find your numbers. Got them. Step 3, decompose, split up, break down this middle term into what you've just found. So 6x squared minus 9xy plus 2xy minus 3y squared. Split it up, decompose it, break it down. Now I factor by grouping, make a group out of the first two terms, find the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor of 6x squared minus 9xy is going to be something with an x in it, as well as 3. So 3x. This is going to give me 2x minus 3y. Okay, I'll look over here. 2xy minus 3y squared. No coefficient that does. This is positive, so I'm going to factor out a y because y is in both of them. Give me 2x minus 3y. And again, at this point, these should be the same. If they're not, you got to back up. Something's wrong. You need to fix something. This becomes one of my factors, 2x minus 3y, and 3x plus y. These two parts here become my other factor. And that would be done. Again, lots and lots and lots of practice. I've got extra worksheets if you want. Really need to make sure that you get a handle and an understanding on this to allow us to look at some special cases, which will be coming up.